All right, welcome into the BFR podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave, joined by my co-host Ficky. You can follow me on Twitter at Dave_BFR. Check out all my work on sportsmockery.com. A couple articles a week. Typically, you can follow Ficky all socials at It's Ficky Baby. We have the Commanders, Bears versus Commanders, Thursday night football. We are in prime time, baby. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an interesting game. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna recap it all. We're gonna go through the injury report. Obviously, there's been some interesting pressers with Justin Fields. That was today. Some news kind of on Chase Claypool. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great episode. Ficky, before we hop in, man, how are we feeling? Are you feeling a little bit better?
Good. Yeah, I am, because like now the losses they're just lost. Like we've seen so many losses. It doesn't hurt as much, right? Which is, I guess, a bad thing. But the good thing is that Fields played extremely well, which we talked about. So like if there's anything, we're always trying to like hold on to like a little bit of hope and faith, right? There's hope and faith that like, oh, maybe our quarterback is what we expect him to be. So we'll find out here in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm in a much better headspace than like the Kansas City loss where it's like we didn't do jack shit. You know what I mean? We just got stomped and all they talked about was Taylor Swift. So yeah, I'm in a much better headspace. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely wishing I went to the last week's game, or at least the Broncos game instead of KC, which is my fault, but I got to see Mahomes. We talked about that. But I just want to kind of, before we hop into, previewing the Commanders, how are we feeling? Like, I don't know if you've watched any tape. I'm actually kind of going through it. Nothing on the defense, but all offensive. I also watched the QB Schools. He has the Patreon. Put his Justin Fields. First of all, check him out. If you haven't, QB School on YouTube. He is amazing. You learn a lot just from, the QB room. And obviously Justin Fields is a very huge focal point right now on this team franchise. And so learned a lot. But what are your thoughts coming out of this when obviously we gave our initial reactions. Has anything really changed? Or how do you feel about Justin? And are you confident heading into this game?
One stat says it all. He's the first Bears quarterback to throw 330 yards and 80% accuracy, right? Or completion rate, right? The man also broke another stat. He went 16 for 16 or broke the franchise record for passes. Like, I don't care who it's against, right? At the end of the day, it's still an NFL team and it's impressive, right? And for it, I would have to be like this is where I'm at with like some Bears fans where I kind of like go back and forth with them is like everything that we've seen so far, if you take away this game, right, there's a reason to be negative and be like Fields is not living up to the hype, et cetera, right? And you can list off a bunch of reasons for that. But if you see a performance like that, you can't let the games prior weigh what you just saw, right? Because at the end of the day, the man balled out. We have not seen a quarterback do something like that probably since, I don't know, I want to say probably like the 6 touchdown game with Mitch Trubisky. But even still there, I don't think Mitch had over 300 yards. I think like he was just like, easy passes here and there. And we saw Fields also threw with anticipation. And as you see, as this pass chart, you see some passes where the middle of the field, right? A lot of those were to Komet. Even his final play was to Komet. That was an interception in the middle of the field. And if you look at this pass chart compared to the last game against the Chiefs, and I think even the one before that, there's really no targets in the middle of the field. So there are obviously, we want to take away those last turnovers, right? That's obvious. But like there are a lot of things that we were wanting to see from Fields that we saw. So I am not going to be mad, especially as a Bears fan that's never had an adequate quarterback ever. Like, if Fields lives up to his potential, and I'm not saying I'm fully on the train, right? But like if Fields plays like that or more like that, he's not going to put up 300 every game. But like you see more of those plays where it's consistent, then 100% this is the guy we got to roll with. So I think I'm in a much better place because he did show us, all the questions we wanted answers for, he showed us those types of plays, except finishing a drive, right? We still haven't seen that, but a lot of that is due to weapons around him, which also gives me PTSD to the last primetime Thursday Commanders game where he did drive down the field and threw it to Mooney, and Mooney didn't catch it. And he like caught it, he bobbled it outside, then caught it and got tackled, and it was short. So, he's not perfect, but like there are things that you can take from that game and be like, wow, that is a franchise quarterback. And we've talked about it over and over again. That is the only question for this year. And, who's going to be our next head coach? But those are the two questions we need answered. So luckily Fields is helping us answer one of them, or at least pushing the needle for him to keep his job.
Yeah, I agree kind of with all of that. The passing chart that I brought up, 28, 35, 335 yards total, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Of course, that fumble, the strip sack that led to the touchdown and ultimately tied the game. But Fields, for me, obviously just, listening to what everyone else is saying, some of the, the best guys in the business is in regards to just like film and tape, Fields looked confident for about 3 quarters, right? And when he's confident, he's on. And also, apparently Denver was playing a lot of man for a little bit. And then they kind of switched it midway through the second half. Sean Payton, kind of switched it, and Fields kind of struggles with zone, for some reason he does. And obviously there are ways to attack it. And they have to figure out kind of what he is comfortable with, what he's confident with, because they're going to get that again. Washington is going to watch the Packers game. They're going to watch Chiefs. And of course, maybe the last quarter or so of that Broncos team. And they're going to use zone against him. It's just, you have to against this type of quarterback. Denver, for some reason, kept on doing man. And they did a little bit even going to the third. And Fields will rip you apart. He shows that. And so the biggest thing for me is like Washington, they're smart. They're going to kind of learn from, the tape, that they have, at least for this year. And then obviously last year. So for me, it's like Justin Fields, when he kind of gets, a little bit jittery, when the game was close, you can see him kind of tense up as far as just maybe not, trusting his eyes and throwing, in some windows that were kind of open. So for me, it's like, it's going to be interesting to see kind of what Justin Fields we get here. And that kind of leads me to today. His presser was, he was very confident. He was smiling, which is great. A big difference from the last 3 weeks, even though they did end up losing. So I want to go ahead and pull up something though about what he said that I found very, very curious about Chase Claypool. So if you haven't been, following along, Chase Claypool, he is not with the team. Matt Eberflus, he still is, unfortunately, but Chase Claypool is not. And Flus has been, oh my God, he on
grilled,
morning,
bro.
Grilled.
George Foreman grilled, bro. That's
what I'm saying.
Question after question, like for 10 minutes straight. Oh my goodness.
And that's what they need to do, man. It's about time. It's about time that they kind of, did that. It was refreshing, I guess you could say. So I want to bring up the, first of all, just the podium with Justin Fields, just a lot different. I'm not sure if you could see it here. I mean,
here, what's your thoughts on that? Because I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Are you happy that he's showing like he's smiling, or are you more of like the team's 0-4, you shouldn't be smiling?
No,
I don't think it's the right answer.
I think it's refreshing in the fact that, well, I think it would be alarming if he was still kind of had that same demeanor the last 3 weeks, because it was terrible losses, where they were not moving the ball. At least he's able to kind of, it's such a short week that it almost benefits him, where he can just, okay, they're probably right into Washington. They have no choice. So yeah, it was great. I threw 4 touchdowns. I can still learn. It sucks we lost. We need to learn how to win, but it's almost over right then and there, kind of within that 12-hour period, because you have to prepare for this short week against, a very good Washington front and pretty good secondary, So for me, I like that he's at least smiling. I think it was alarming. It was a little nerve-wracking, because I'm like, are we just going to break this, man? Are we going to break this? Is he going to be broken? And so the fact that he gets a little bit of confidence, now he has to build on that, and obviously I would have loved to see him like close it out. That's something we have not really seen. And yes, there's been
the problem with the problem with the closing out is there have been drives where he's done everything he possibly can on those last drives, but it's like dropped by wide receivers. You know what I mean? So it's either this, he does the drive well and he doesn't have the supporting cast to help him, or he makes one costly turnover. So that's kind of how it's gone so far. So it's either like it was purely his fault, or it's like he did everything he possibly could and then everyone let him down. So yeah, but I agree with you, Dave. I'm like, you played fucking great. I am okay that you are, it's not like you're smiling right after the game, right? I'm okay that you're now like feeling better and like you said, on to the next one, because literally the game's in 2 days, right? So kind of that short mindset. So I just kind of wonder your thought on that, because I know some people in the pub, and I get it. They'd be like, this team's 0-4. They're dog shit. Why would you be happy? But I'm like, no, this is more of like, he's going to be confident going in. And that's what we want, because as you said to start the show, a confident Justin Fields is an amazing Justin Fields. So keep smiling, buddy. I'm here for it.
Yeah. And I think it was just funny to see him kind of, I mean, it's a big smile, that we were showing earlier. So obviously there was something to, play there. I mean, he's not going to be, anyway. So I want to go ahead and bring up this Chase Claypool quote here. It is interesting because with Flus on Monday, and even after the game, first of all, it's embarrassing. They have no idea really what's going on.
Crazy.
Flus can't even answer it. He obviously tiptoed away, never gave a conclusive reason as to why Chase Claypool is didn't play, and now he's not even on the team, and they're looking to trade him, possibly even be cut, which is ridiculous. It's crazy that we got here, and it's one of Poles' probably
it's
misses, one of his biggest misses, if not his biggest. So, but Justin Fields on Chase Claypool, he said, it sucks, but at the end of the day, you can't control it. You've got to go out there with the guys that we have and execute like we did this past Sunday. Wish nothing but the best for Chase. I think he knows that he kind of messed up by saying that. And he's referring to last week where they said, hey, are the coaches using you right? And he was like, no, but wish him nothing but the best. He's a talented player. He's a great person. He has a good heart. He works really hard. Definitely going to stay in touch with him regardless of what happens, and wish him nothing but the best. He went on earlier and said one thing that I found very enlightening was, he if he could, he probably would take it back, as far as saying that. And so for me, it sucks because Chase is talented. I have no doubt that if he goes to if they do end up trading him or releasing him, hopefully they can trade him late round pick, get something, send him to like KC, and he's going to thrive, man. You got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to happen. Yeah. You got, Matt Nagy's calling plays, but.
Facts. No, but it would work there, and they need wide receivers. So that'd be someone that could be, he's going to go to like some probably contender or something like that, to be honest, and do well.
If he gets cut, he can go wherever he wants. I mean, or whoever wants him. And so for me, it is just frustrating that we're even here with such a talented player. And my thing was, Fields said something similar where he did kind of critique coaching, but he immediately kind of retracted. He told everyone.
He had to. Bro, Twitter was on fire. He didn't have a choice.
Claypool just let it ride, and he has not apologized. He's not. So that's probably the difference there, because you do see a lot of like, hey, Justin Fields said it. Why is he not getting, the same heat, blah, blah, blah. And it's like Claypool, first of all, he said it, and then he did not retract it. He just kind of stood on it.
Also, production is different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
I mean, but Claypool did have that touchdown.
He did, but I mean, we have a year of Fields breaking records. You know what I mean? So, like, at least if Fields is going to make a mistake, you know what I mean? Like, you can sit on like, oh, well, at least he's productive. A prime example is like Antonio Brown. That man did whatever he wanted, but that man is a future Hall of Famer. So the more production you have, the more, the likelihood that people are going to allow you to kind of get away with things. Chase, you have not done that on this team. You got to shut up until the production shows. Once you get to that level, right, then you can talk as much as you want. Ocho Cinco, Terrell Owens, people like those wide receivers, they talked all they want, but one's a Hall of Famer and one could possibly be one. So it's like, you got to kind of, if you're going to do that talking or, certain things that can cause controversy, you have to back it up on the field. And Chase hasn't done that with this team so far. So.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. First of all, like I said, it's disappointing just with Chase in general. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I want to go ahead and kind of move to, I guess, the injury report, if that's okay, Fick.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Because there is some big news here. Let me see.
Big is an understatement, man. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for this moment.
So we have Chase Claypool, Eddie Jackson, Tevin Jenkins, and Jalen Johnson all on the injury report for the Bears heading into this one. So Chase Claypool did not practice. He's listed as other. We have Eddie Jackson. He did not practice. Tevin Jenkins was full. And then
Both
Jalen
days.
Johnson, of course, did not practice either. So the big news here is Tevin Jenkins. So I want to, first of all, get your thoughts on all of that and what you think kind of is going to transpire. Do you think Tevin's going to play? What do you think, man?
I hope so. He's our best. Darnell Wright's looking pretty good as a rookie. Like, even as just a regular tackle, like you take the rookie out of the conversation, Darnell Wright is looking good. Like, I think that's Pole's biggest hit. So, other than the DJ Moore trade. So, looks like we lost Dave, but I'll answer the question for the people still watching, and for our podcast listeners. But Tevin's huge. I think he graded out top 5 as a guard last year. So, like, to get someone like that back, right, is ginormous, right? You know, as we know, and how I've kind of talked about it, this team is built through the trenches on both sides, and we've seen a lot of our issues, you know, even last game, because our offensive line is not, you know, the scheme is bad and they're not doing as great as a job as they need to, right? Especially that interior line, the mix between Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick, and Carter, right, is not been good. I think Nate Davis started last game, or was it still Carter? I can't remember. So even with Nate Davis not getting a full offseason's been sus, right? And Lucas Patrick, my God, Lucas Patrick is not good. I am sorry, bro. So I don't know if you guys remember that one of Fields' best plays from the first week was when he threw that it was like 3rd and 9. And he threw that slant immediately and he got crushed. And you're like, bro, why was that pressure all there? That's literally because Lucas Patrick snapped the ball on 1 and they were supposed to go on 2. So he snapped it. None of the line moved, or they were like delayed, obviously. And Fields got crushed. So Tevin Jenkins moving back to guard will be great. It'll be interesting to see, though. Where does Cody Whitehair go? Does he go to the center position? Because he hasn't really been there in about 5 years, right? So, but the point of Tevin coming back, though, is it gets us back to our best 5. Our starting best 5, which is important. So we just need to get we need to get Larry Borum out and get Braxton Jones back. And if we can have like a healthy final, a healthy actually starting 5 going into like the back half of the season, or even this back, 3/4, that's going to be huge for Justin Fields. And, because I think he's had like a combination of 31 different starting 5 offensive linemen. There's no cohesion. And because of that, we know what happens. Fields gets crushed. He got crushed all the time last year. He got crushed all the time this year. And Dave's back, but just to fill you in, Dave, basically, I was talking about what was the importance of Tevin. I said it's huge because the interior line is easily the weakest part of our team, and then Tevin is also probably our best lineman. So the question is, though, when he goes back to left guard, where does Cody Whitehair go? Does he go to starting center? And if so, I think that might be good, because I'd rather have Cody Whitehair as starting center than Lucas Patrick, because Lucas Patrick has not been good this season, in my opinion. So
yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I'm sorry for kind of dipping out there. I don't know kind of exactly what happened, but anyways, so great point. Lucas Patrick, there was a play that Justin referenced in his presser today where it was very interesting. He said the play actually was one of the best throws that Justin had.
I talked about that one.
You did, as about DJ.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at that play, you kind of see the right and left tackle, Wright and Borum, both kind of look very slow. And I was like, holy crap, like this is a little alarming. I'm like, how are these guys this slow? And obviously there was they were snapping on 2. Lucas Patrick snapped it on 1. Fields mentioned that today at his presser, and I was like, oh my God.
That's exactly what I just told,
man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told them. I'm like, bro.
Absolutely. If we can throw, I love Lucas, and I thought he'd be a little bit better at center. And we didn't get a lot. We didn't get to see him, last year. I think the one game he did play, he got hurt and didn't even look that good either way. So for me, it's like, get Whitehair where he's at least, I think Whitehair's way better, as far more serviceable than Lucas Patrick. Have him kind of kick him to kind of like the rotational, bring him in if someone's hurt, needs a breather, something like that. Tevin Jenkins, keep him at guard. And then we got, Nick Davis. And then, of course, Braxton Jones isn't going to be here for a little bit, but you're getting close to 100%. And you're going to need every bit of that, especially if Tevin can play against Washington that has a very, very good defensive line. So,
yes, we need him back. I'm never going to be mad to have one of our best offensive linemen be healthy.
Another thing about the injury report that, I don't know if you kind of went over with Eddie Jackson. So, first of all, the Bears, it's conducted a walkthrough on Monday and Tuesday. Practice status is just a projection, but they are pretty accurate for the most part. Now, Eddie Jackson, he mentioned on ESPN 1000 to Waddle and Sylvie over there on Monday, and the reports were that he said he's planning to play on Thursday. He said he feels good, and so he did not practice on the report. Are they playing a little game here? Who knows? But if
short, it's a short week, so.
Yeah,
maybe there's.
And he probably maybe they're not going to ramp him up till Wednesday. Give him a little bit extra time. But if he can go, I'm not saying it's game changing, but damn.
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be better than Elijah. Be better than Elijah Hicks back there. That's for sure. Yep. So
now Sam Howell, the Washington Commanders starting quarterback, he has his stats are not the best, and he's kind of struggled a little bit. So he has, first of all, Eagles game. He that's a tough one. 290. 290 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. But it's that Bills game, which they have a great defense, absolutely. But he threw 4 picks, man.
Yeah, he went crazy.
He threw 4 picks. He has 5 on the season, so he has 4 touchdowns total, 5 interceptions as well. I mean, 81.3 rating, 67.1% completion percentage. So for me, it's like you get Eddie back there. Yes, we're still not having elite secondary, and we're not going to get a lot of pressure on him for the most part. Unless
that's what it is. It's the lack of pressure is the issue. It doesn't matter who you have back there. If you get if Sauce Gardner's guarding a wide receiver and the wide receiver gets 4 seconds to do what they want, I'm sorry, you're not. People are just gonna get open. The offense is always favored with time. So, that's my only. It's no, I'm happy that Eddie Jackson's coming back or possibly can. If not, we have this mini bye afterwards, so I think he'll come back after that. So either way, Eddie Jackson's coming back soon, which is great. But again, you could have – we saw it with all 4 starters back there. Mm-hmm. And we still got torched up because we get no pressure. So unless there's a way for us to leave a game with more than 1 sack – because we have 2 on the year?
2 on the year, man.
Bro, we have 2 – Khalil Mack had 6 sacks in 1 game. I know it's Khalil Mack, but we have 2 sacks the whole season. It's been 4 games. That's crazy.
So Sam Howell, it is bad, man. But the Washington Commanders, and obviously they've played some, they've played some teams pretty tough, and they've been interesting. But it's also they are beatable, and that's the thing I want to talk about here. I want to compare. So Sam Howell, he has been sacked. Let's see here, 24 times this season in 4 games so far. That's crazy. So the Bills got 9 sacks, Eagles got 5, Broncos got 4, Cardinals, which. Mind me, their defense is all right, but they're not the Eagles. They got 6, man.
That's crazy.
They got 6. So to kind of throw that comparison here, Justin Fields, he has been sacked 17 times.
Bro, we're so bad.
But but the Redskins have given up 24 sacks.
Yeah, but Fields would have way more if he couldn't.
If he wasn't mobile, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just saying we might be able to get, and I'm not going to project crazy numbers here. We'll get to our bold predictions soon. But I'm if you're going to get a multi-sack game here, this could be the one. An offense that's struggling to protect the quarterback.
I think we said that last week, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. But the Broncos, they do have a little bit better. They added in free agency.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're
fair. They have a little bit better, but it was this is probably your best chance. So any given Sunday, anything can happen. Honestly, it's just if I can only have faith in so much at this point, and the faith in the D-line show me enough that there's no way that my faith can go into that. I'd rather put into some other aspect of this team. Yeah. Right.
Well, hey, I think we got a question about sacks, so let's just go ahead and get to that one.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got a couple questions. So
let's get through some. If you guys got questions right now, we'll do some questions and we'll get to our bold predictions. And we'll finish up with a couple more things we got planned.
Cool. So Tom here says, what are your thoughts on this linebacking crew? And I'm going to say incomplete for two reasons. One, I don't think they're schemed well. And two, when you're any team, when the defensive line sucks and doesn't fill holes like they need to, it's a harder job for the linebacker. So it's kind of hard to grade them. Just like how it's hard to grade the secondary if you get no pressure, right? I'm a big advocate of it starts in the trenches. I say it all the time. You guys probably get annoyed, but it's because it's important. If you build from there out, everyone else plays better, right? It's just how it is. They can read quicker. They can react quicker, things like that. So I think they're talented. I still like the signings. I think it was a good move. Yes, Roquan's going off, but Roquan's also going off on a much better defense. And in the scheme, he was originally good at a 3-4 in Baltimore. So this is a team sport. I can't just look at one person, just like how we look at Fields and be like, oh, you're the reason why. No, we know this defense is missing pieces. And the D line is garbo. So yeah. I would give him an incomplete, or like if you're just going to say average, I'd just give you a C. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, if we're grading it, so I want to go through some of the stats here. So TJ Edwards, I think he's having a decent year. He has 51 total tackles. He has 2 for tackles for a loss. Tremaine Edmonds, he has 3 tackles for a loss, 39 total tackles. I mean, they're not game-changing. They both don't have any fumbles, sacks, interceptions, nothing like that. And so I think they're playing just like very they're playing up to what – it's hard because this front is so terrible, man. It's hard to really grade them because, like, there's not one guy that is going to make anyone else better on that line.
Oh, no. Let's take it back. Andrew Billings is balling out. He's the only one. But, yeah, I get you.
He has been very good. But you need more. Good. You need more.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think it's enough as far as just, like, to really transform that defensive line. So, for me, it's like
2 sacks.
I think they're doing okay, especially inside, kind of stuff in the run. I think they're doing it. But, man, sometimes in coverage, middle of the field, and then also to the side almost, like the sideline, which is crazy because Edmonds is pretty fast. I think Edwards is as well. And I feel like sometimes, again, you take in a grain of salt with what they're playing behind. And I think that's why you're getting such a, tough grade. So I'll probably go C, average. I don't think just when you factor in everything, you can't go – I'm not going to go D. Obviously, if they had a little bit better of a line that they're playing in front of and the secondary wasn't, toast for the most part and playing with a lot of young guys, I think maybe I would be a little bit more concerned. But, I mean, they're still –
What did you say? Robert Schmitz made a comment about it, and he was like, specifically about Edmonds. And he was like, yeah, Edmonds is one of the best coverage linebackers out there, right? He's not, if you want him to break off shedding tackles and stuff like that, I mean, off of block shedding, that's not his forte. And so that's just an expectation, right? Urlacher was kind of like that as well. Obviously, Urlacher's in a whole nother level, but and then the second thing was like in this defense, they're taking 2 steps back first. They go pass coverage and then, basically in essence, they're not downhills type of linebackers. So you don't see them. First of all, the holes are not getting filled for them to react. And their first steps based off scheme is more back instead of forward. So I just think there's a lot that goes into it is basically my point. And it's not enough for me. I'm not looking and going like, wow, what bad signings. I'm looking at the defense and going, wow, what a bad defense. You know what I mean? There's so many upgrades that need to happen. So, okay. You ready for the next one?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. All right. We got one from JG here. He says, I think Justin goes 300 back to back. I think he's feeling it now. And once we get a win, it's going to be more. I saw the question mark, so I thought it was a question. Okay. But basically he's saying Justin goes 300 back to back. And he thinks it's going to get us a win and build more confidence. Do you agree with that comment? Do you think he goes for another 300?
Oh, another 300?
Yep,
yeah. So I think it's definitely possible. I was, after looking, Washington kind of seeing what they've been doing, which I know they've been playing some competitive football, which is, you can't say the same thing with the Bears for the most part, except for maybe the Tampa game and of course Denver. But overall, I think they are playing a little bit better. But if you look at the overall defense, they're actually ranked 29th in the league. I mean, Broncos were 32nd. The Bears are 31st. So Washington's just a couple tiers above that Denver defense. So, I mean, honestly, you're on Thursday Night Football. You just came off a huge confidence booster. I know it sucks, especially right after. You could see it, and everyone was down. The locker room was very quiet. You could hear a pin drop. I get it. But you saw it today with Justin, how much it kind of meant to him. He needed something. I mean, to throw 4 touchdowns, to go for over 300 yards in your career for the first time, and really put yourself, take some of that pressure off to perform. So now it's like, okay, stack games, and there's no better way to do it than on primetime football, man. Like if he puts, say he does 3 or 4 total touchdowns again, that's 8 touchdowns in 2 games. I don't care who you are.
You're going to be the talk of the national media. You're balling.
You're balling. Now you could be 0-5, sure, but you might be 1-4.
Yeah. And it's like just a repeat of last year. In essence, it's like you ball out, but we lose.
But you got it for him, Justin. I feel like is a confidence, and right now you could say that he has just been taking. It's the 13 game losing streak now. 14. I'm losing count. That's ridiculous.
I don't know why I know the number, but
I know, yeah. But anyways, 14 game losing streak. He needs to get a win, man. This franchise needs to get a win, and if you could do it on when all the lights, when everyone's watching, I mean, it reminds me of almost New England, where it's like that shifted a lot. Obviously, we lost every game from there on out, but it's like we still were able to put on points, put up points, and go on a little bit of a streak there. So I'm like, we got 28 this week. Let's go put up another 28, 31 points and win this game, actually. And if Justin Fields is playing well, I mean, that's even better because, I mean, he is playing for maybe not for the Bears. And we're going to get to this trade scenario later because I thought it was very interesting. Maybe we'll close with it between Justin Fields and the Atlanta Falcons. That will be fun to kind of talk about. I think you've seen it in the group
of course. Chat. How could you not?
Anyways, so this is a big game. I absolutely agree with that comment, though. I think 300 yards is possible. Maybe unlikely there, but I think he's going to have a big game. And also you look at Washington, that same front is the same one that was there last year. And this offensive line, if Tevin is back, is going to be better. You have Darnell Wright, who is, yes, he struggles at times, but man, he looked fucking good, man. Like seriously, for a rookie right tackle,
he's
it's awesome,
bro.
You bring in Tev, who's just maybe the best on the line. Yeah. And then you got Larry Broom, who was there last year. He's serviceable. It's fine. You love to have Braxton Jones there. But and then Whitehair back at center, Mike Davis. Yeah. You're cooking a little bit, man. Especially if you can get that run game going that you did against Denver. That's where Fields really, that play action, rolling him out. That's what I think really changed a lot of like kind of his launch points and everything, and just made him kind of get in that rhythm where he broke the freaking 16 straight completions against Denver. Crazy. Bears record for completions in a row. I mean, he probably could have kept it going too if they didn't try the Hail Mary, which anyways,
I mean, no,
I like it. I like the prediction. We're going to get to those, our own bold predictions here soon, but I like it. What do you think, man?
I'm going to leave it for my bold prediction, but good. I agree. No, but I agree with you. And I just don't want to repeat what you said, but basically it's definitely feasible. I am more confident that he can do it again now than that he could get a 300-yard game week 2. Does that make sense? Like my meter is starting to, it's not, it's not all over. I'm like, just a slight. So I'm kind of there. Okay. So the next question, we only got like 2 more, so we should be good here. Jay Capone to Don said, how about trading Claypool for Kadarius Toney? I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they wouldn't do a swap, especially since they just got Toney. I think they traded for Toney too. So they wouldn't do a swap. If they're bringing Claypool in, they're only adding. They're not giving us Toney back. Like, nah. They would just give us draft picks. They want as many weapons as possible. If it's like any other Andy Reid offense, they want as many weapons as possible. There's absolutely no way it'd be Toney. I know they have like 6 wide receivers, which is crazy, but if they bring in Claypool, I think they would just cut one and then send us a pick.
I mean, Toney played perhaps the worst game by a wide receiver that I've seen in a very long time. It was that Monday. It was the opener. On Thursday.
Against the Lions.
The NFL season opener where he just looked awful. I mean, he literally gave the team 7. If he just doesn't, anyways, long story short, absolutely. I don't want Toney. I think the Bears are fine. If you keep more Mooney, ESB, you got a couple playmakers that Velus and Tyler Scott. You got enough where I'm like, okay, Cole Kmet, the tight ends are getting involved too. So I'm like, I really like the pass catchers for Fields right now. I don't think you have to add to it. I think maybe you add to it, next year with Marvin, Harrison Jr. That would be great. Absolutely. But any other moves,
would be.
I'm not seeing it. I don't think you need it. You don't need to right now, especially not giving up. I'd rather get a draft pick. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If you can get a draft pick for Claypool right now, which the Bears are not, they're not helping themselves. Like whatever they're doing, man. Like, I mean, the dude just came off his last game. I think was he had a touchdown.
Yeah,
touchdown. He had like 50 something yards, a touchdown.
Yeah, 50,
it's like
40. Yeah.
Why couldn't they just keep? Yeah, I don't like what you said. Absolutely not. Maybe he.
Yeah, but no.
Let him play.
I think he said something more. I don't think it's that. I think they came to him and said, "You're inactive," and he went off. That's what I think what happened. And I think that's what sent him home. Like I think there's a screaming match that went down or something like that.
I would be too, man.
It was kind of like to his surprise. So.
I mean, I know Claypool has not helped himself with the block and with all the outside shit and also the play. But it's like this coaching staff, it's true, man. It's true. They have not done a good job with him, and they just can't develop players, and they can't. Right now, the culture, I don't believe, is where we want it to be. It's not a winning culture.
Absolutely not. It's a losing culture.
You throw in Claypool was kind of already a wild card as far as his personality. And so for me, it's like Poles, you didn't go Jalen Carter because of like culture, but you bring in Claypool. I don't know. It's a weird conversation to have. I just hate that you look back at it. You gave up. I'm not going to fault him for the 32nd overall pick, but you gave up a second. Yet, so. Either way, you gave up a second, no matter where it was going to be. And that could have been
right
a center.
Now his value down
that could have been a corner. That could have been, and then throw in a rookie contract. And that's almost like, damn, you're missing out on that. And you're getting nothing. The only thing that could make this better is, Claypool walks, send Flus with him. But that's not happening.
Or he just balls out. He just comes back and balls out. Like, I mean, he could do it. So maybe it puts a fire under his ass. I don't know. But
he's going to ball out for KC. That's where I think he's going at. Even if he gets cut, that's the most.
We don't want him to go to KC because that pick's going to be so high no matter what round. So, like, I don't want him to go.
That's true.
Go to the Panthers
real quick.
You know what I mean?
The Washington defense, I said it was really, really low. I was looking at the stats from just Pro Football Reference. You go to PFF, they're graded a little bit higher, a lot higher. They're actually middle of the pack, 16th defense overall.
Okay.
They have a grade of 70. Let's see here. 70.7, which is middle of the pack, 16th dead in the middle.
They're average to below average. That's basically it. So that's fine.
Bears are still 30th at 55.3. So
surprised we're not dead last. That's crazy. And speaking of this dead last team, here's a question here from Matthew Brown. How many sacks do the Bears get? And you don't have to answer if this is part of your bold prediction.
Okay.
It's not a part of mine, so I'm going to answer it. And then he just says, I think they've been sacked 25 times, or Sam Howell. Or I think you gave that statistic earlier. But I think the Bears get 1 sack.
Yeah, I mean, I can make it was one of my bold predictions. Just after kind of looking at,
let's just wait. Then just wait.
How many times? We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it. It's not my bold one because I have no faith in that D line. So, and then we have this last one, and then a super chat, and this is from Axe. How do you solve the defense in short term? Even if you bring in blitz packages, I don't trust anyone to get there or the secondary to cover anyone. Okay, so this could be like a 30-minute discussion, but just how do you fix this defense short term is 2 things. You need better players, which we can't do now. We just can't. We get that. You do. You just need better players, right? There's a bunch of holes. Some of those guys would not be starters, okay? And you need new scheme because the scheme's not working. I'm sorry. It's not working. So that means new coach or new defensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator because we don't have one because we don't even have one, and better players. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but like there's no quick – like that's why it takes times to – the defense is in a rebuild. The offense is not a rebuild. Like they've got a lot of good pieces. The defense is literally a rebuild still because that D-line is so bad. You're on mute, Dave.
So how do you solve the defense in the short term? This is from Axe, right? So even if you bring in blitz packages, I don't trust anyone to get home or get there or secondary to cover anyone. Yeah, I think the short term, there's just you can't. Like the Bears are going to get scored on. It is going to happen. Now, I think once maybe Kyler Gordon, Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Johnson is a premier, maybe not a premier corner, but he's so good, man.
He's been rated high. The first 3 games he played, he was rated so high. Yeah, absolutely. So you got to extend him.
Short term, that could be a fix in a couple weeks, midway through the season, week 7, week 8, where you kind of get like, oh, we got JJ back. Oh, Kyler Gordon. And like that could be a short-term fix. Either way, even with those guys, maybe a little bit less. teams may score less. There might be less big plays when we get that secondary that we kind of talked about prior to the season. That is going to be the strength that we're going to get to see Kyler Gordon. We're going to see these guys kind of blossom into, year 2, Jaquan Brisker, everything like that. So right now it's like the Bears, if they're going to win any games, which they don't, but if they are, if they're going to win this, which I think they can win this week. I know I'm crazy, but if they can build on the momentum, and like I said, they're going to have to score points. They're not going to stop this. I mean, I know it's Sam Howell. I don't believe in him. I do not believe in him at all.
No.
And so for me, it's like they're going to have to at least score 28 this week again.
Yeah, no,
28 plus. 28 plus. Otherwise,
you have to hit 30s. You have to hit 30s to win for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Bears score 30 points. I could. I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah,
but
probably don't.
Anyways,
all right.
I think no short-term fix, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I wish. Okay, and we got a super chat from our boy Tito. He's definitely sent us some before, so we do appreciate it. $5 super chat. This says, "Sup, boys? God forbid that we have first 2 picks in the draft. Who are you picking?" I'm saying the best DE and Marvin Harrison Jr. Our pressure is a joke. Oh, and then he's saying those are the picks, and then he's saying our pressure, which is our D line, is a joke. # keep Justin Fields. Okay, I love that. If I'm gonna go, I'm still build the. I know this might be crazy. But I'm still build the trenches. So I'm saying, if your first 2 picks, I may not even go Marvin Harrison Jr. I might go Jared Verse, the DN from Florida State, and then if we're keeping Fields, right? Then obviously the first one is Fields. I mean, the first one is going to be the offensive tackle. Alu, I think he's like the best tackle. I can't remember where he's from. Is he Northwestern? I can't remember, but I would go that. And then second, if we don't keep Fields, the first pick would obviously be Caleb Williams. So I'd rather go with the trenches, but I know Marvin Harrison's like a generational talent. But here's how I view that is like kind of how Jamar Chase is right now, where it's like, I don't know if you've seen that meme, Dave, but where he throws, it's like, if Joe Burrow would have got Sewell, right? It's like Joe Burrow throwing with the line times, and he can throw it to anybody. But instead, it's Joe Burrow, anybody, and then it's Jamar Chase, and he's getting sacked, and he can't throw it to him. Like, that's the same stuff we've seen the past 2 years. So I'd want to use my first 2 picks on an edge, and then obviously a tackle. But we're so far out, and I haven't done any scouting, and nor am I a scout, so I have no idea. But on paper, the best would be Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously, that's what everyone's talking about.
You're a qualified internet scout, Ficky. No, I think absolutely Marvin Harrison Jr. Absolutely, he's a crazy talent, man. Like perhaps one of the best in a very long time compared to Calvin Johnson. I mean, it makes too much sense. For me, that second pick, whether it's top 5, top 10, it's interesting. Obviously you target edge or tackle. There's 2. Honestly, I'm looking at mock draft here, PFF. They have the edge, which they have some crazy names, and I don't know how to pronounce them. Latu from UCLA.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, he's 6'5", 265. Posted a pass rush win rate above 20% in each of the past 2 seasons. He's insane. I mean, from a prospect, like as far as the intangibles, he has the stuff you can't teach, the frame, the size, the speed. I mean, he's an insane edge rusher. So for him, also you could target the trenches, offensive tackle. Olu, who, Penn State.
That's what I was talking about.
That's exactly Penn State tackle. I mean, dude, he has an 84.7 pass blocking grade in 2022. Even better so far in 2023. He has a 92.9 pass blocking grade.
Welcome to the Bears.
4 games. So, I mean, like, for me, if it's 1 and 2, I mean, you just trust the Bears to, do their homework there. You're not going to get it wrong there. You go Marvin Harrison and you go, Olu.
Anyways, go Caleb, Marvin Harrison, Olu, you're good.
Yeah. So for me, it's Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you go edge or tackle. Simple as that. You go for the line. However, if Justin can prove that he's the guy, or at least that you can win with him, the next 12 games, 13 games, whatever it might be, if he can prove that he is at least top 15, absolutely. I think you go.
Are you trading back? If we end up with the first overall pick, I'm not talking about ours. I'm talking about let's say the Panthers are just so far they've been dog shit, right?
So they're one.
They're one. The Panthers pick, not us. Fields wins like 6 games.
I would trade because if you're not going Caleb Williams, then you trade whoever wants Caleb. If you go to probably number 2, which would be Carolina. We would be. I don't even know. It all depends on where it kind of falls. However,
yeah, of course.
I think if Fields, he's going to have to really prove. And I'm sorry, maybe not even top 15. He's going to have to be like 13, top 13, top 12. He's going to have to show
crazy.
that he's a franchise guy because Caleb Williams, you can't pass up on that talent. So that's the tricky part here, and that's why I'm saying he has to deliver back-to-back games. He has to build off the momentum. Otherwise, they're going to be. I think the USC Notre Dame game is coming up soon. There's a couple of times where the Bears are going to be there. And, And so for me, it's like at the end of the day, if Fields does not kind of show that he's a franchise guy, you got to go Caleb Williams. You can't pass it up. And the best part is you could go Caleb Williams 1, and then maybe go Marvin Harrison 2.
Crazy.
It's insane to think about.
God.
I'm rooting for Justin Fields though.
Same. I would say at least we'll get rewarded for this horrible season. And Panthers sucking too. This would be a fun draft. So for sure.
It should be.
Cool.
What do we got? Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, then let's move forward to let's get to our bold predictions. And then we have a couple other quotes that I'd like to read, but I'll start with you, Ficky. First bold prediction, Bears versus Washington. What are we thinking, man?
Oh, you know what? I bragged about it last time. I was correct on my bold prediction for last time with Fields. So I am coming back. I'm doubling down on it. I think Fields throws for 315 yards and 3 touchdowns, right? I don't think he gets 4, but I think he gets 3, maybe a rushing touchdown, and he has 0. You see that? 0 turnovers.
Okay.
And we win the game.
Okay. So I want to bold prediction. So Justin Fields, I'll kind of stick with him there. So I want to read this through here. I was doing some projections with, obviously you throw in the Broncos game, it's kind of skewed a little bit because he had such a fantastic game, and you kind of can't ignore those first 3 games. However, he did put up some, as far as passing, he was above 200. He was under 99 in 1. But through 4 games, here's the projection for Justin Fields. This is what he's on pace for right now. 3,659 passing yards. That would be 4th most in Bears history. It would be 336 of 523. That would be 64.2% completion percentage. He's on pace for 30 touchdowns. That would break the record for the Bears. I think right now is Cutler at 29 or Luckman, something like that.
Bro, which is suck.
However, he's on pace for 21 interceptions, so that's kind of a yikes there. However, a passing rating of 86.8, 13 games left, of course. So I'm going to go bold prediction as well. I'm doing 4 more touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
4 more. 4 total touchdowns are coming against the Washington Commanders. Do we win? I don't know. But
don't care at that point.
He's getting 4 again, man.
I don't even care at that point.
And he's played this team. He's kind of familiar. This front, he's used to it. He knows how fast they are. He knows what he can get away with. However, Chase Young is healthy. And that's good. They have some dogs there. So it's going to be interesting. But I think with Tab coming back, if he is back, I think the Bears are going to at least be able to move the ball and score some points. So I'm going 4 touchdowns again. That'll be 8-2 games. And I think we're back. I think we're feeling a little better. So bold prediction number 2, Ficky.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. The defense gets a turnover, an interception. I think that something's gonna happen and they're gonna get a pick. I don't know who. Maybe I should have done that for my bold one. Depending if Eddie Jackson's back, I'm just gonna say Bojack gets it. That'd be just exciting. He comes back and gets it.
Sam Howell, man.
But someone's gonna get one. Maybe it's a linebacker. Could be Sanborn. You know what I mean? Sanborn's been actually. I know we haven't talked about it, but Sanborn's been playing really well. He was all over the place last week. So yeah, I think someone on this defense is going to get an interception, and it's going to be huge because we don't turn the ball over that often. So
yeah,
and that's going to help get a short field, which will help for your bold prediction because I'll get Fields another touchdown.
Yeah. So I'm going to go my bold prediction. We talked about sacks earlier. I do believe they're going to get to Sam Howell. He is actually the 27th ranked quarterback in the NFL. Justin Fields right now is at 23. He's moving up, which is good according to PFF. But Sam Howell, he's 27. He's been sacked 24 times or 25 times. And I mean, that line, it's okay. And obviously the Bears line is not great defensively. However, they're going 2.5 sacks. They're going to double. Why am I getting balloons?
Yeah, because it's such a bold prediction. That was funny as hell. I'm not gonna.
That scared me, man.
Such a bold prediction that it deserved a celebration,
dude. All right, for our Apple Spotify, listeners here, I'm sitting here. We're talking bold predictions, and Ficky's throwing balloons up on my prediction. I don't even know how you did that, but
I don't even know near do I. But it was such a bold prediction. That
2.5 sacks. Bears are they're back, man. This is gonna be 85, defense now for real. 2.5 sacks. That's what I'm going above. This is the game. I can feel it, man. And that's why if they can get to the I know it's crazy. They're doubling.
Yo, that's bold.
They'll be on 4.5 for the season.
Bro, that's bolder than any of our fields takes, which are very bold. That's crazy because the D line is so bad. That's doubling the sack production. Like 2.5 isn't actually hard to get. I mean,
it won't be the D line that gets these sacks. It's going to be,
you're going to have
it's going to be Brisker. Here's the thing: you bring Eddie Jackson back, you can kind of trust Brisker. Kind of, send him one. Well,
he was
times.
He was sent like three.
He
three
was.
Times
That first quarter. That's the one thing I noticed. It was like two on one drive. They sent him twice.
Yeah, he sent it twice. Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Yo, I didn't touch anything. So those balloons, bro. I swear I didn't touch anything. Yo, that's funny. I swear I didn't touch anything. So
what?
It's a celebration over here. Yo, that's funny, bro. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's hopefully, you know what? If there's 2.5 sacks, if we get 2.5 sacks, I will buy balloons and put them up in my background just because I'm that confident. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some. I'll do it. Hold me to it. If the Bears get 2.5 sacks, I'm going to find a way to get some balloons before our post game, and I'm going to have some balloons set up for the whole show. How about that? Because I'm like, that's crazy. That is not going to happen, in my opinion. So,
man, that is so funny, dude. I don't know where they're coming from, but I don't know. Anyways, final bold prediction. Try to be, I think we're being both kind of, confident here. Obviously, they have to be bold, but what is your final bold prediction, Ficky?
Yeah, I think Herbert's had a productive past couple of weeks, so I think he breaks 100 yards. So I think we, if we're in the light that we're going to be winning, right? I think there's we're going to be more emphasis on the run and different types of runs, which we saw last week, which is good. And let me preface this, like, as much as I'm like, yo, Getsy, what the hell are you doing? Last week, he showed like versatility and new concepts and things like that, which worked in the team's favor, obviously. So if he continues that type of stuff, like I'm going to be more on the Getsy train, right? Doesn't mean I'm like, yo, let's stick with them, right? Because I might want to clean house at the end. But I think he, after last week's performance, he definitely did pull me in. And with that, I just think that Khalil's going to keep getting a lot of those RB1 touches, which, I mean, I love Roshan, but like I said from the beginning, like, Herbert is that dog. He was the dog last year, so I don't know why people didn't think he would be this year. So I think we're just excited for Roshan. But again, to finish it off, I think Khalil's going to go for $100 over 100 yards.
I'll tell you what, Khalil goes for 100. Absolutely. I think we're winning this game. I was going to go another Justin Fields prediction here because I think he might. I think he breaks our big run. He's just due, man. And I know I know the zone and they're playing him differently. They're really kind of harrowing in on him and making sure he doesn't beat him with their legs. I get that. However, I think he's due, but that's not my bold prediction. I'm going to DJ Moore as well. I'm going to DJ Moore here. So first of all, projections. Again, I was going through these numbers. I'm like, DJ Moore, wide receiver 1, we brought him here. You kind of gave up a first for him, or you could have got a first. Instead, you got DJ Moore. We all love it. I think it's a great deal. Yeah. A great move by Poles, and I think he's actually starting to see it, especially these last couple of games here. Yep. So DJ Moore through 4 games, he has 19 receptions on 24 targets. First of all, get those targets up. I think it's a little skewed because I think the first 2 weeks he was targeted 4 times, something like that.
Like not at all.
Get that shit out of here. Get him the ball 8 to 10 targets a game minimum.
However, bro.
He has 301 total yards. That's fifth, and that's about 75 yards per game. 15.8 yards per catch. That's a clip, man. And he's getting over a first down per catch. He has 2 touchdowns. He is on pace for 81 receptions. And this isn't if they up his targets, it could be even more. Because I would love to see him go over 100 receptions this season. But he's on pace for 81 right now receptions for 1,279 yards and 9 touchdowns. So for me, I'm going big game DJ here. He's going to go back-to-back 100 yards, but I'm going 130.
Okay.
130
What do you
and
have
up.
last week? 130. What do you have, like 118 or something like that? What was it
So
last? Do you remember?
he was close to 130, I think.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
so.
not mistaken.
He was pretty
So
close.
maybe that's not bold enough. Yeah, he was 131, but I think I'm going to stick with it because that's a huge game for, any receiver.
Too. Yeah.
But I'm going back-to-back 130. I mean, if Fields is going to get 4 touchdowns, it's going to be because of DJ Moore as well. He's going to be getting 1, if not 2, multiple touchdowns in that game. But I want to see him get another 130, man. Make up for that Packers game. Make up for, the Chiefs.
Honestly, that's definitely possible. Like that's feasible. So
I thought you were going to say that. It's definitely bold.
No, sorry. Nothing is bolder than your last one. So, but honestly, so if we think Fields is going to hit that 300 mark, right? 4 touchdowns that you said, like that's going to be because DJ Moore, like he's involved in that. And Kmet too. You know what I mean? Kmet's been having a pretty decent season, I would say. I think he's like 5th in receiving yards right now for tight ends, which is like pretty good specifically because he's not like the most, I'd say, pass catching tight end, right? He's pretty balanced. So like to see him up there is fantastic. So, man, I probably should have had a bold prediction for Cole. I think Cole's going to get another 2 touchdowns.
Let's touch on Cole because I think he's absolutely could have been a bold prediction. Maybe we can do a bonus one. I want to go through some of the numbers here about with Cole Kmet. So he has 189 yards on the season. That's 5th in the NFL. The only people above him, only players, are Sam Laporta from Detroit, Evan Ingram, Jacksonville, TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota, Tyler Higbee, LA. He has more yards than Hunter Henry, Mark Andrews, Travis. How the hell does he have more than Travis Kelce? Oh, I guess Kelce, he only played in 3 games? Yeah, he's only played in 3 games. He was injured. That makes more sense. However, touchdowns. This is where it's interesting. Cole Kmet is 3rd in the NFL for tight ends with 2.
Was he 2 last game? Didn't he have 2 last game?
Yeah. 2 last game. I mean, he kind of comes in those bunches. So we might be due for another big 2. I think last year he had a 2-game stretch of like 4, 5 touchdowns or 3-game stretch of like 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
4 touchdowns. It's interesting. He is, let's see here, Kmet targets wise, because I think he's actually kind of lower than you would think as far as targets go.
So it's efficient yards. He's getting efficient yards for sure.
Yeah. Let me see here. So with touchdowns, so he only has 24 targets, 18 receptions, which is so as far as targets go, it's 6th in NFL. So I mean, he's still not even the most targeted, tight end. He's top 10.
But overall, he's doing his job. Is my point. Like dude, I think the extension is so far been paying off.
I saw a tweet here. I saw something. It was talking about Fields and how he had a slow start last year.
He did. And
so he's starting slow again. So is he just like, maybe he's just a slow starter, as far as just getting things going. Yeah, he's just, we'll see. But Kmet, it's like last year when Fields started to kind of ball out a little bit, Kmet, obviously his numbers went up. He was a touchdown machine, as I talked about. Are we starting to see that early? Obviously it's a week 4. This is going to be game number 5. Better now than never.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope we come back and look at these first 4 games or the first 3 and go, wow, what a different team. Yeah. What a different team. Just like how we thought about the team last year, even though they lost, but like we looked at it and go, wow, they are scoring way more than what they ever were. And I hope we see that exact same thing, because that will then answer our question for quarterback, and then that will help us out in the draft. So we won't have to use it on Caleb Williams, even though I won't be mad if that's what we end up doing. So yeah, it will be interesting. We got a long season to figure this out.
We're a quarter of the way through, man, and it's starting to hopefully get a little bit better. The Bears kind of showed a pulse, some life. They killed us. I mean, that loss was brutal. And I remember I sent out a tweet, and I was like, this is one of the worst losses. And I think that was probably too much. I think I'm just like, it was such a good day by Fields, and to have it ruined in that type of fashion, I was like, holy, of course.
Yeah. Did you forget about the Chiefs game that you were literally at? Like, we have so many bad losses. Like last year against the Commanders.
Yeah.
Like Fields played well, and we still lost that one in a Mooney, who's not known for dropping passes. It drops the most crucial pass of his career. So it's like, yeah, there's one thing the Bears have learned is they know how to fucking lose. And that's why I'm like, Earflus got to get out of here because we don't have a winning culture. God, we know how to lose games. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'll never get it.
It's yes. I mean, speaking of Mooney, I want to go him. So I mean, he's played in 4 games, but I think it was the Chiefs game where he was out early, right?
Yeah.
He played like a couple snaps, but he's just over 100 yards. So he's 104 yards on 8 receptions, 12 targets. He has 1 touchdown. So I mean, a slow start for Mooney. I'd like to see him kind of, get a little better.
Targets are low. Yeah, 12.
Targets are low.
That's not many.
But it's going to go up because I mean, Chase Claypool. He hasn't played. He's played in 3 games, obviously. But he has 12 targets, 4 receptions. I mean, 51 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, those other 12 targets are likely to go towards Mooney and the tight ends, Tunyon, Kmet. That's going to be it. So, St. Brown also going to get some. He has 1 reception, that one crazy one against our last week.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Catch.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome catch. I mean, I like seeing him. He's a great blocker, too.
Yep.
Let's see. And then Tyler Scott is the only other Bear receiver with a reception, he actually has 3 receptions on 5 targets for 20 yards. I mean, Bayless doesn't even have a reception yet. And that's interesting. So we'll see. Obviously, I think, Fields is going to have to share the ball. Wish Claypool, we talked about it earlier, wish he could have kind of came through. But, I mean, it is what it is. So
it is
anyways,
what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, if you are enjoying the episode, if you're enjoying the content or you're new, or if you've been around, first of all, we appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the like button, sub to the channel, hit the notification bell. We go to live about 2 times a week, immediately after the game or 30 minutes, pretty damn close. And then, of course, we always have a preview pod. Typically, we have a guest. This week, it just didn't work out lining everything up.
Short week, too. Yeah, short week.
Short week. So everyone's trying to get, everyone's busy. So no guests, but typically we do. And like I said, so that's typically how we do things. But if you're enjoying the content or first time, we appreciate you being here. And Apple, Spotify, rate the pod. Absolutely been killing it over there. We appreciate it. So
yeah, thank you all. Thank you.
We're going to go to kind of end the show here. We'll get to our predictions here in a moment. I'm going to go over some of the over-unders. The Commanders are 6.5-point favorites so far against the Bears, and it's in Chicago, which.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to that by now.
Well, I'm sorry.
The
no.
away team beef.
It's not.
No, it is there. It's there. No, it's in Commanders.
Okay, I was going to say, how are we 6.5 favorites at home?
The
FedEx Field.
Yeah, we have the one against the Panthers, primetime Thursday. That's back in.
That's what I'm getting at. So Chicago Bears visit FedEx Field in Washington. The Commanders are 2-2. The kickoff is at 8:15 Eastern. So the Commanders, like I said, 6.5-point favorites. What do you think, Ficky? Is that fair?
Oh yeah, that's fair. It's basically.
Or do you expect higher or lower?
Given. No, I expected that. Yeah, basically, I didn't think it was going to be 2.5 or 3.5. I figured it was probably going to be a full touchdown, just because we're just not that good.
Yeah,
because like the 3.5 is given when it's like just home field advantage, right? Like it's just like the nod. So like I figured they think like they'll actually be able to score on us. So yeah, I think
6.5 is pretty. I thought it'd be higher. I really do.
Yeah, I thought it would, but I'm not.
So what is Vegas thinking here? Like maybe they believe in this offense too. I don't know.
I'm not taking that. I'm staying away from.
So we're gonna go over. We're gonna go to our over and unders here before our predictions. We have over and under for the game. Total points 44.5.
Over.
Yeah, me too.
Over. I think it's based on what we've talked about.
Both defenses. Bears defense is giving up 20.
Defense is giving up 28. And if our bold predictions are like we're scoring 4 touchdowns, we're scoring 30, right? So there's 58 right there. Over. So it's got to be.
Okay. So
we got that one right last week, though. So
we did. I'm going to go sacks here. So Commanders, over under 5.5 sacks.
Ooh. Damn. How many did we give up last week? Because that's a lot.
Oh, man.
But they got,
4 times. Fields was sacked 4 times last year against Denver, or last week.
But they don't have a D. Yeah, and they don't have a D line like this. So because they got Payne, they got Montez Sweat, and they got Chase Young. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over. I bet we give up 6. No, what? No. I'm changing my mind.
Okay,
we're gonna give up 5 sacks. I'm going under.
Okay,
we're giving up 5 sacks. I'm going under.
So you're going under.
Yeah, I changed my mind. We're like 5 sacks. We're giving up 5 sacks.
So Washington they have 13 sacks on the season. pretty damn high.
So that's about what, 3.5 a game? We suck even more, so I gave him an extra sack and a half.
Yeah, we have 2. So first of all, the Bears are dead last in the league at 2 sacks. The next is New York Giants at 4, Falcons 5, which that's awesome. We play the Falcons later, right? Do we?
Yes, we do, in Chicago.
Thought we did, yeah. And then yeah. And then we anyway, so that's where the bottom of the half league. I mean, that's Washington's in the top half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in the league in sacks at 13.
Yeah.
Bills are at 16. So I mean, that's why I hope Tev's back. So I'm gonna go over. However, I want a little caveat here. I think Fields is going to, he tends to maybe take a bad sack, or he's going to run out of bounds before the scrimmage, line of scrimmage, something along the line. So maybe 2 are on Fields,
Okay.
And so we'll see there.
That's fair.
So I'm going to go over. I still think they have a chance. Even if they go over, if they go 6, I think that's still a winnable. Washington's going to get theirs. That's how I feel.
No, I mean,
prove me wrong.
I mean, we still said
if Tev is back.
If
Tev is back, I think that could maybe help alleviate, especially if they run the ball a lot, which I think they need to stick to. But so I want to go to Justin Fields' pressure last week from Denver. So he was under pressure on 12 of his dropbacks. That's tied for 7th most in the league in week 4. 91.7% of the pressures were charged to the offensive line. So 2 things there. First of all, offensive line, good God. Lucas Pat, it was not great. Nate Davis looked good, in my opinion, watching it back. However, Justin Fields is getting better. He's not getting, I think it was a couple weeks ago where I said it was almost 20% was charged to him. Right. And last year it was even worse. So, I mean, he's really starting to kind of obviously maneuver. I like that they moved him, rolled him out. So for me, it's like offensive line hopefully gets better with Tevin. Still, Washington's going to obviously create havoc. They have the guys. They have some dogs there. So it's going to be difficult. So I'm going to go over on that. This next one. This one's fun. How many? So Sam Howell, right? 275 passing yards, over under. I think this one's interesting.
You know what? I think he gets over, but it's because I think what's going to happen is kind of what happened last week. We're going to get a lead early, and then they're going to pass heavy to catch back up. But this time we're going to get an interception that seals the game, right? Or so, doesn't necessarily seal it, but it basically goes, yeah, good luck. You're probably not going to be able to beat us now, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So because of that, he's going to be passing like crazy. I think he can get that. This defense is porous, bro.
Yeah.
Porous, bro. So, yeah, I think he can get that.
Okay. So 275, you're going over. So in week 1, he had 202. Week 2, 299. Then he had 170. And then in week 4 against Philly, he had 290 yards passing.
Yeah.
So you factor in the Bears defense. Absolutely. I think you're going over there. Easily, probably. This one's fun. Chase Claypool references, whether it be whatever it is.
Oh, bro. Oh my God.
What's going on? I have it set at 4.5.
Over.
You think it's going over? You don't.
Over.
Okay. Interesting. I might go different here. Why do you think they're going over? Why do you think you're going over?
I think
he's not going to be there.
He's not going to be there. They're going to talk about it at least twice in the first. There's no question. Okay. The game, when the Bears get on offense first, they're going to talk about how Chase Claypool's not there. Somehow they're going to bring it up again. Wait, you said 4.5 then? Dang, do they bring it up 3 more times the rest of the game?
That's what I'm saying. I'm going under.
No, I'd go under. No.
Yeah.
I think they're going to – my thought process is easily 1 to start the game, first drive of offense. 1 is going to come up again when a wide receiver – in the first half when a wide receiver doesn't do something or – something where a wide receiver does something that makes him think of Claypool, right? That'll come up again. And then I think it may come up one more time later because they could be like, man, Chase Claypool would have been great to have on that drive or something like that. So I think it's going to be around 3. So I'll go under.
Okay. I'm going under too.
What about you?
I just don't think it could. I hope not. I don't want to hear about it, but it's possible.
It'll be 3 times.
I think 3 is good.
It's going to be 3 too many is basically my point. It's because we've heard it way too much.
Tell you what. Fields and offense clicks and they're firing and they're kind of it's like a replica of like last week. No way. There's no chance. Maybe twice.
Yeah,
but we'll
they'll
see.
say it way less. But if it's a shit show, they're gonna bring it
That's
up.
what I'm saying. It could happen. It could happen. If they have nothing else to talk about, and you're talking about, polls and what he's done and how much he has to fix, all that. Absolutely, I think it could go. But all right, we'll finish up. We've been going for over an hour here. First of all, again, everyone that's tuning in, we appreciate it. We're gonna go final predictions. Ficky, do you want me to start, or how are you feeling?
Yes, go ahead. I think I went first last time, so I want to hear your thoughts.
So I think this is gonna be a close one. I think Sam Howell I don't believe in him at all. However, I do believe in that defense for Washington. I think they're middle of the pack, if not a little bit better. That defensive line is going to eat. However, like I said, I keep saying I have a little bit of optimism left. The Bears have not pushed me down yet. I'm not in a dark hole, or anything like that. I think there's a little bit of light. The Bears kind of showed some life. There's a heartbeat. I think they kind of get back on track. I think Fields kind of performs. He has a tendency to play well in big games, whether it was in college. And sure, he may have had a dud, I think maybe once in the NFL so far, maybe twice as far as like prime time. But last year, Monday night, Thursday night games, I think he comes alive in those moments, or at least I hope he does. And I think this is going to be one of them. So I'm going to go Bears 31. They're going to flip the script. 31, Commanders 28. It's going to be a flip-flop. It's going to be a flip-flop. It's going to be like, wow, the Bears won a close game. And I don't know what's going to transpire. Hopefully that's Fields, comes down, wins the game, whether, they actually kick the field goal, they win the game, whatever it is. I just feel like Fields in this offense, this coaching staff, how bad it is, they're going to find a way on a short week to win this game, man. And if they don't, then it's going to get bad. And I think
they'll be fired. There'll be firings if we lose again.
Staying positive, man. I think they win this one 31-28. We'll see.
Man, you literally about stole mine exactly.
Okay.
Almost. So Bears 31, Commanders 27. So instead of you had 4 touchdowns, I basically said they got 2 field goals. And then the Bears had 4 touchdowns, 1 field goal. And my thought process is they're going to actually have a chance to basically they're going to have a chance to like make it tied up, and we're going to get a stop, right? And then Fields is going to have an opportunity to actually end the game. It's not going to be a scoring drive, but he's going to get that first down to end the game. And it's finally going to be like, look, he did the drive that was needed to end the game. We can go home. Great job. Everyone hops on this fantastic podcast and we're all smiling, and I have balloons in the back and all that crazy shit. So yeah, I think we get a dub. If we lose and Fields balls out, it's still a dub to me. I don't care. But if it's anything like the rest of them, it's time to just clean house with everybody, bro.
Yeah.
And we'll let that. We'll wait till it gets there. I'm not gonna put that out there, that negativity, but like that's kind of my thought process right now.
The pressure is there. The pressure is there for them to perform, especially Justin Fields. I mean, the clock is ticking on him, literally. Like, they could perhaps trade him. Like, honestly, they lose bad here, he could be traded. Like that, I really think Atlanta, and I didn't even bring it up here. I guess we can really quickly bring up the trade talk. But if he doesn't perform, and it is a dud, such as like Green Bay, Kansas City, something along those lines, and it's just bad. First of all, Flus, I think he needs to go. I think he should be fired. Bears haven't done it.
He will be.
Great time to start. Fire a coach midseason. Do it right now. If he is warranted. And as far as the trade, let me bring it up. My God, my phone is thinking about upgrading to iPhone phone. I tweeted that earlier. I might have to, man. It's just getting slow. Anyways, they bringing up the trade here. So Falcons received Justin Fields. The Bears received, this is ridiculous, Desmond Ridder, 2024 third-round pick, 2025 fifth-round pick. So first of all, I don't want Desmond Ridder.
No. Yeah, well, the only reason, because Desmond still might make you win games. So I don't want to
bring in Tyson Bagent.
Yeah. If we're trying to lose, if we trade away Fields, you have to lose.
Type scenario with Tyson, and we're good. We don't even have
to.
You
don't even want that. Nah, I don't even want that, bro. Like, if we're trading away Fields, it's get your hard hats. I'll wear it for the post game. We're in tank mode, bro. It is tankathon to the end. No.
So first of all,
garbage.
Falcons, what would you want in return? Because that is a very likely scenario. If the Bears were to, hey, Fields isn't Field, we're not going to be. We're done. Wish him the best. and I hope to God, because I'll be rooting for him hard in Atlanta if he goes there.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, I'll root for him because I think he's a great talent. I think the Bears did fail him. He has some flaws, of course, but I think he has the talent to be a starter in this league, if not top 15, top 12. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
So for me, if you're trading him, what do you want in return for Justin? Say it's Atlanta. What are you wanting picks-wise?
Picks. And honestly, 3 and 5 is actually not that bad. That 3 is pretty good. You're not going to get a 2.
I think that's
right. I just don't. Yeah, you're not going to get a 2. Like 2 is like aged veterans who have proved themselves, like a DeAndre Hopkins, right? I think of that like a Von Miller, something like that, right? That's a 2. That's the starting point. And Fields, I don't think hasn't shown enough to where he can deserve that 2. So I think a 3 is good, and you stack it with a 5. I would then throw in something else though.
Yeah,
I kind of want
from
3 picks.
FanDuel. I think it's just I'm seeing the logo art here. It looks like FanDuel. So I don't know how I don't think Atlanta would give up that much. I don't think they're giving up Ritter. I just don't think they're giving up that much as far as all the the picks and the player. I think it would be 2 picks. However,
I don't even want to trade Fields though. Gosh, can we? The thing is, the trade is like, don't even trade. Like, let's see where realistically the logical thing to do is see where our draft pick is. That means you play the whole season and you keep Fields on, and then you make the trade. I know you don't have as much leverage, but you'll understand like what you can trade him for. I don't know. If you trade him, it's 100% like you understand that you're going for Caleb Williams. Yeah. You better not you better not pull the Colts and try to win some, or the Houston Texans and try to win some dumb shit. Lose.
I think if Fields plays the whole season and it's like so up and down and you can't really, you're just still unsure and you still end up with top 5 picks. I think at that point, yeah, you absolutely go Caleb Williams. But if Fields is playing like up and down, he has those flashes, but you're in prime position to say, like we talked about earlier, to go get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Fields did not show enough to where you can pass up on a talent like that, such as Caleb Williams. Then you can kind of play. Say he finishes with flirts with 3,400 yards, 500-600 yards rushing, and then 20-something touchdowns and, maybe 15 picks where it's like, oh, a lot of turnovers there. Some team is going to give up a second if he puts up those numbers. And you wait and you're doing it in the offseason where, that could be interesting. So I think right now, absolutely, you do not trade him.
Too early. Still too early. I know the
trade.
I know the trade deadline's week 7 or week 8, so we only
don't
got
trade him mid-season. You don't, unless it's atrocious,
so.
Man. Or you can't, unless maybe Atlanta's offering a second or a first.
Yeah, there's no way you trade him now. That's what I'm saying. Wait to the end of this. If you're gonna do it, make sure you know if you can get Caleb Williams or who you're trying to get before you get rid of Fields. So
absolutely,
don't do that.
This isn't Madden.
It's such a risk,
but
it is not. I wish it was as easy as Madden. No, my God, I got 4 wins with PJ Walker, and we can't even get 1 with Justin Fields. So, I wish this was Madden. This is ridiculous, bro. And we're here every week, which is great. So we'll be here again. We're here every week. We're glad you guys are with us. Win or lose, and lose. We'll be here. So
I don't know how everyone else feels like as far as just like, obviously Sunday was a tough loss, but I'm kind of excited or happy that we have such a quick turnaround where we can just whatever happened, we get it out of our
forget
on to the next one.
Forget about
so I'm like, that was brutal as hell. If it happens again, we're kind of in the same boat where we got an even longer period of kind of
10 days.
That loss is going to linger for 10 plus days. So, but for me, it's like, I'm excited, man. Prime time. Show me what you got.
You know what it reminds me of?
I'm not confident in the coaching, but
it reminds me of the Patriots game. It just does. It's prime time. That was Monday Night Football, I believe. That was after the mini bye. This is before the mini bye, but I think kind of around the same thing, and just let's
just build on what you're doing. You have nothing else you could do here except for the tape that worked in those 3 quarters. You're going to have to fine tune a couple things, especially against the zone, get some plays in there that you're going to see that that Washington's going to throw your way. And if Fields is confident, throw it in and just beat the zone, man. It's like, if he can't do that, obviously he's not the guy.
Of course.
So we're going to find out,
again,
man.
This is a stepping stone. Last game was a stepping stone. He needs to keep stacking them. And then let's get to the,
that's what he needs to do. So. Otherwise, if he doesn't keep stacking them, man, it's impossible to really be sure if he's the guy. So anyways, Ficky, before we go, if you enjoyed this, if this is the first time showing up to the stream, we're excited to have you. If you've been around, we appreciate that too. Like the video, it really does help the channel grow. Sub if you want. you want to stick around for the season. Hopefully it gets a little bit better. Either way, like Ficky said, we're going to be here.
We got balloons.
Win
Let's
or
go.
lose, loss. We're going to be here. We're excited. It's going to be a fun game. I think we're both optimistic, which is crazy. And Abbott a 14-game losing streak. We still have some optimism left. I bet there's some Bears fans out there too that kind of share that same. It's hard not to with Fields, man. You see some plays there where it's like not a lot of quarterbacks in this league can extend or make that play. So
yeah, absolutely.
We're excited. If you believe in Justin Fields, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the like button. We don't. Anyways, we're excited.
Just do it. Just help us
Ficky,
out.
before we go, man, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah. Quick turnaround. I'm ready. Thursday night primetime Fields. Let's get my bold predictions right, and let's show the world that you're him. That's what we need. Let's shut up these haters and naysayers, please. And if not, tank for Caleb Williams. That's basically those are my two roads that I've got now. Fields is him or tank for Caleb Williams. There's nothing in between. So
absolutely. I at the end of the day, we're gonna learn a lot from this game, and that's all you can help. That's all we want from this right now is like we want to know if Fields is the guy, and we want to know where we're gonna be here, come April. So it's on Fields, it's on the Bears. We're gonna see. Hopefully it's a win, but either way, we'll be here to recap it like we mentioned, and we'll see you. We'll be there. I guess it's gonna be a late night, and I think Ficky, if you're up for it, I'm down.
Okay. Yeah, I might depend. Yeah, we'll
depends
see
on the game.
But yeah, I might be. Yeah.
I'll be here. Ficky's going to be here too. We're going to be here right after the game. I don't care if we're getting blown out by 40 or if we're winning by 30. We're going to be here. Emotions are going to be raw. We'll have a live stream. So sub to the channel, hit that notification bell if you want to see us go late. What? It's going to be like 12, 11. We'll be here.
It'll be like 12 my time.
I'll drag Ficky. I'll call you. If I have to come over here too, I'll get it. Anyways,
I'll be up. I just don't know if my mental health will be there for you guys. That's my only thing, depending on how well that game goes.
It's gonna be an event.
But no, we'll be here.
Hopefully not.
Absolutely.
Anyways, we'll be here. We appreciate everyone that tuned in, and we'll be back Thursday night, hopefully after a Bears win. I'm gonna put it out there.
Absolutely.
Bears win. But we'll see you then. And hope you guys enjoy the next couple days before the Bears either break our hearts or light a fire under us. We'll see.
Peace.